Listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for attending the Pace University Medical Billing and Coding and Electronic Medical Records Certificate Programs Information Session. That's a mouthful. My name is Stephanie Plowman, and I'm kind of going to be your tech moderator for the evening tonight. But before I throw things over to Dr. Michelle Kalm, who's going to tell you all about the programs, I just wanted to talk about a couple housekeeping matters, in particular in regard to how this system works. Now, GoToWebinar is incredibly sensitive. So everybody is on mute right now because I've spent a lot of time working through webinars where people had dogs barking and life going on in the background. So everyone is on mute. But that does not mean that we are not ready, willing, and able and interested in taking your questions. We do want to take your questions. So there is a questions box on your kind of GoToWebinar login that you should be seeing, where you can type in your questions. When you do so, those will pop up on my screen, and I will read those out loud to Dr. Kalm and also to Selena Chan, Program Manager of the program at Pace University, either of whom are more than happy to take your questions. So certainly we'll be opening things up to questions at the end of the session this evening, but if something comes up in the midst of things, please do feel free to type your questions in, and of course if there's a reasonable time for me to be able to kind of break in and read that question aloud, I am more than happy to do so. So now that we have gotten that out of the way, I'm going to turn things over to Dr. Kalm, who is going to give you the lay of the land with the program. So Dr. Kalm, ready to go?
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for taking time out of your evening to learn about these two programs at Pace University. So again, we'll be looking at the Electronic Medical Records program, and we'll be looking at the Medical Billing and Coding Certificate program. Let's take a quick look at the topics that we will be covering this evening. We will take a look at the employment outlook for medical billing and coding specialists and the average salary statistics. Healthcare as a career sector continues to show growth, and we will take a look at some exciting articles recently found in the news about this. We will also take you through the online classroom so you can see what it looks like and the features that are contained within the program. These features include a wide array of study tools so that you can get the most out of your program. The ultimate goal is to prepare you to sit for a certification examination, and our study tools are designed to help you maximize your time and your study efforts so that you could be prepared for the certification. We will also share with you some information on how to register for the program and for finding some financing options. According to the Department of Labor's Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment opportunities are on the rise for health information specialists. Over the next 8 to 10 years, the field is expected to grow by 22%. New jobs are literally being created all the time. There's an increased use and actually a government mandate to use electronic medical records. The need for billing and coding specialists is also on the rise. So there's continuous growth in the elderly population as well. So therefore, more and more medical treatments and diagnostic procedures are being performed. So both of those are going to lend to the growth in both of these fields. The National Health Career Association outlines the benefits of becoming certified in electronic medical records. Being certified provides more job opportunities and an increased pay scale and subject matter expertise. Salaries are increasing across the board in healthcare. There are two main professional associations that certify medical billing and coding specialists. One of them is the American Academy of Professional Coders, or AAPC. You might also hear it called AAPC. They conduct an annual survey, and the survey results from the 2014 survey shows that it is a very good sign to be working on the business side of healthcare. Salary surveys show earning potentials are on the rise and that the unemployment rate among certified coders continues to go down. This rate is currently at 1.4%. According to AAPC's recent survey, the average salary of an AAPC member last year was about $51,000. This is an 8.4% increase in just 1 year. Those who work in a hospital inpatient setting experienced a 16.6% increase in salary, and they are averaging over $56,000 per year. Most members of AAPC are working full-time as well, and almost 88% of respondents are working 40 hours per week or more. The growth of healthcare jobs can be found all over the news. A recent article from USA Today tells us to expect healthcare job gains to continue to at least 2022. It states that millions, literally millions of healthcare jobs will be created between now and then. Baby boomers will be retiring, and that provides more job opportunities for those still in the workforce. According to The Economist, healthcare jobs are recession-proof. On this graph, the light blue vertical lines show positive growth from year to year for healthcare jobs, while other industries fluctuate from year to year, showing periodic loss in job numbers. Boston University states that regardless of economic trends, healthcare is one of this country's strongest growing industries. This growth is a result of needing more healthcare for the growing number of elderly and our country's new focus on healthcare reform. Since you are here, you are obviously thinking about making a significant career change. You are either maybe starting to look at a new profession altogether, or maybe you're already in the field but looking to change your focus. Let's take a look at what two professionals have to say about these emerging career fields, and we'll pause here for just a moment. All right, some pretty powerful testimonials for sure. This is also a great place to pause and answer any questions that may have come in.
Not yet, Michelle. You're covering all the bases, so we're good so far. No questions yet, Michelle.
Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and see what the classroom looks like. You may or may not have experience taking classes online, but either way, you'll find the online classroom really easy to navigate. We'll take a walkthrough so you can see the features of the online class and the tools that are available to you to help you learn. When it's time for the program to begin, you will receive an email that provides you with the website to go to and your login information. It also provides you with contact information for the university and your instructor. Once you receive this email, you will be able to log into your classroom, take a look around, and get started. Once you log in, you will be on the home page of your classroom. And this one right here is the Medical Billing and Coding Certificate Program with the concentration on CPC examination. In the center, you'll see a description of your program of choice, and along the left-hand side, you'll have buttons that will help you to navigate through your program. When you click on the Modules button, you will see the majority of the information you will need for your program right in the center of your screen. When you click on the very first item in your program, this will take us to the next slide, you will see your first presentation. Throughout your program, you will have video presentations, with audio, and this is your first one. This particular presentation gives you an overview of the program as well as what to expect. Most online programs have lecture notes to read, but we offer this dynamic tool that makes learning interesting and fun. After the overview presentation, you'll find your syllabus, which will provide you with all of the school and classroom policies that you may need to reference. Here are some clips of some items you will find in your syllabus: a textbook list, the grading policy, and the honor code. There is also a week-by-week list of everything that is covered, as well as assignments and tests that need to be completed. Here is an example showing week 1. And this schedule, just to put this out there, this is a suggested schedule. All participants are expected to create a portfolio of their accomplishments during their program. Since this program is online, it's only fitting we call it an e-portfolio. This is an opportunity to collect some of your best work and show it to a potential or current employer to showcase what you have accomplished in your program. It will be something to be very proud of. There is a video presentation that walks you through every step in the creation of your e-portfolio and how to share it. This is also a graded item within the program. Once you have watched the overview presentation, reviewed the syllabus and the textbook list, and watched the video on how to set up the e-portfolio, you can read a biography about your instructor. This will provide you with their contact information, their work experience, teaching experience, and usually something interesting and special and fun. So next, it's time to jump into the first module for this program. The first module is medical terminology. The first item you will see for a module is an introduction to the module, and this introduction will provide information on what exactly will be covered within the given module. Next, you will have a document that explains in detail how to access student resources for the textbook that is used in that particular module. This study material supplements your program learning and can be an extremely valuable tool. These instructions are here to help you download or access any of these supplemental materials. Next, this is my favorite part, you will find websites that you can review to help you in exploring the module topic. This material is considered bonus study support, and it's here for your benefit. This material is current, and it applies directly to the module topics. It makes your learning dynamic and allows you to use powerful websites to enhance your learning. As I previously mentioned, opposed to lecture notes, you will have video presentations. The great thing about these is that you can start the videos and watch them really, honestly, as many times as you'd like. This is where you'll want to take notes and you'll want to listen to what the lecturer has to offer. You will find these presentations throughout your program. They cover every area of the program, add a creative and exciting feature that will aid you in learning the material from some industry specialists. You will also find a variety of learning tools in your program as well. This is just one example. These are interactive tools specific to technology security in this particular image. Learning these concepts requires some memorization, so using tools like this will help with that process to not only learn the material, but remember and retain the material as well. And this tool and similar tools are provided throughout the program. The program has graded deliverables. They take the form of homework assignments and tests. This is an example of a homework assignment. You submit your assignments right in the instruction area. Once your assignment is submitted, your instructor will receive the assignment, will grade the assignment, and return it to you with feedback. Prior to taking tests, there are practice quizzes. These are not graded and can be taken as many times as you want. So they will help you gauge where you are with the material, and they will also help you prepare for the section test. This is how a completed practice quiz looks. You are given an immediate score, and you will see exactly which questions you answered correctly or incorrectly. This will allow you to know exactly which areas to focus additional studies. When you are ready, you will then take your test. They are all auto-graded multiple choice and true-false. You will know exactly how you did as soon as you complete the test. Should you need some assistance while navigating the program, there are some quick links for technical help and frequently asked questions, and these can be very helpful. And as always, you can always ask your instructor for assistance. A common question asked is, what topics do these programs cover? For electronic medical records, your modules will consist of the following: U.S. Healthcare Systems, American Reinvestment and Recovery Act and HITECH Act, Medical Terminology, Healthcare Computing, Health Information Management Technology, and Electronic Medical Records Software. For medical billing and coding, every participant completes the standard block of modules. The standard block includes medical terminology, anatomy and physiology, disease pathology, diagnostic coding, and procedural coding. Then from there, you will also take an add-on module. Your choices of add-on modules include CPC, COC, CP, Certification Preparation through AAPC, and the other two are CCA and CCS, which are certifications through AHIMA. AHIMA is the American Health Information Management Association. Each certification differs in the workplace setting it prepares you for, and the different certifying agencies differ in their requirements as well. Here you will see the websites you can use for the different certifications available to see which certification is right for you. If choosing the Medical Billing and Coding Specialist program, I definitely suggest looking through all 5 of those certifications to see exactly which one is right for you. Your program includes additional resources to help you with resume and cover letter writing. Many of our participants find these tools to be very useful, and they are provided standard with everyone's program. We encourage everyone to explore and utilize these tools. At the end of your program, you will compile some signature assignments into your e-portfolio that we talked about earlier. When it is complete, you will submit a private URL for instructor so they can review it and provide you with some feedback. You can also provide the URL to a potential or current employer so they can see your accomplishments. The great thing about the e-portfolio is not only could include just the signature assignments, but you can include a variety of videos or documents or anything that will help showcase your learning. All right, this is a great place to pause before I pass over.
Good evening. I am Selena Chan, Program Manager for Continuing and Professional Education. Welcome to Pace University's Healthcare Information Session. Tonight I will be talking about the financing options available for the healthcare programs. As a reminder, by being here tonight, you are eligible to receive $200 off the cost of tuition. The first financing option available is the tuition payment plan. This is the most sought after financing option. It is interest-free, there is no background check, and there is no credit check. Anyone can enroll in the tuition payment plan. The tuition would be split up into 9 monthly payments, and to enroll there is a non-refundable fee of $35 plus a $50 down payment that will be applied towards the balance owed. Payments are due on the first of each month and paid directly to Pace University. If you decide on this option, please complete an application form and email it to me or Nicole Vitale, who is the program manager, or you can email it to continuinged@pace.edu, which is listed on this page. The second financing option is private education loans. You would work with a specific loan lender to go over a payment schedule. Common loan lenders are Wells Fargo and Sallie Mae that have approved the course. But Pace University will accept payment from any lender who is willing to provide funding. There is an interest fee with the private education loans, but you don't have to worry about making payments during the course. And the final payment option is payment in full at the time of enrollment. So if you register online, we will accept credit cards. If you call us over the phone, we can also accept credit cards. And if you can also send in checks or come in to meet with us in the office and pay in cash. So does anyone have any questions?
So if anyone has any questions, again, just once again, type in your question into the question box, and I will read that out loud for the ladies to handle. So let's give everyone a chance to start typing and see what happens. And of course, the most important and best question is the one that you remember to ask after we've already logged off this evening. So if you have any follow-up questions after we have logged off of the info session, here, of course, you can find contact information at PACE, and either Selena or Nicole Vitale, Assistant Director, would be more than happy to address your questions. Okay, we do have a question. Where do we get the textbooks and materials?
Stephanie, do you want to take this one since you help out with the textbooks?
Well, I actually do. The textbooks are included in the cost of the tuition. So once your registration comes in, we automatically order your textbooks and have them sent to you. So you will get those shortly after your registration and after you've confirmed your preferred shipping address. Okay. Oh, fast and furious. Here they come. Okay. Selena, this one is for you. Is there a discount if the payment is made in full at the start of the course?
Yes, the discount can be applied. So if you make a payment and you pay in full, we can apply that discount and send you a refund check after. Or if you call to give us your payment over the phone, then we can just charge your credit card and deduct that $200 discount.
Okay, here is a question about moving forward after the program. Does PACE offer any help with job placement?
We don't guarantee job placement to the students, but we do hear of job opportunities available from different companies. So once we have that information, we would share that with the healthcare program students.
I would also jump in here just real quick to say, as a member of the American Academy of Professional Coders myself, once you become a member to a certifying body like AAPC, you can start networking with local chapters like face-to-face, webinars, over the phone, and many times the local chapters will know of job openings way before many other people know that there are job openings. So these certifying bodies, especially like AAPC, are just a wealth of knowledge and can definitely help out as well.
Okay, any other questions this evening? Again, please feel free, any questions that may come up after we have logged off for the evening, please do feel free to reach out. Contact information is right here. We are always happy to address any questions that you may have. So we'll give, I don't know, a little, give everyone a little time to type in and send those questions in. And okay, are the modules posted all at once, or is there a schedule?
They are posted all at once. We have it set in a progression, so you wouldn't want to take something like diagnostic coding before medical terminology, so you'd want to go in order. And the suggested schedule in the syllabus is just that, it's suggested. Some modules, I personally suggest taking a little bit more time in. So for example, it may take an individual a bit longer to get through something like diagnostic coding, which I totally, absolutely 100% suggest, versus medical terminology. So, you know, it does depend on the content being presented, but they are presented in order. And then once the standard block is successfully completed, then you would move on to your add-on module of choice.
Okay, any other questions this evening? So it's self-paced. Yeah, well.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, will students be able to look for a job at completion of the course, or will they need to take a state test?
These certification exams are not state tests. It's not a state licensure. It's a certifying body. You will want to sit for your certification exam. If you have a contact in an organization, a facility that you would like to work in, you could let them know that you're sitting for the certification, but most places will not hire until that person is certified, and that's pretty much across the board in allied health, really across the board. So you'll want to sit for your certification beforehand.
Where do you go to take the certification tests?
These are great questions. I just have to throw that in there. AAPC and AHIMA both have testing sites all over the United States. AAPC's test is still paper pen, or not paper pencil, so you won't get your results right then and there, which is kind of the downside, but they have testing sites, again, everywhere. So you just go on their website. Let's say you choose CPC, then they're on their website. You could actually locate an exam. You don't have to sign up for it, but you could locate your exam. I know I live in Kansas. There are probably about 10 to 12 testing sites within a 2-hour radius of me. Some are like 10 minutes away and some are 2 hours, but that's a pretty good ratio, especially being in Kansas. AHIMA's testing is the same way. They have testing sites all over the country, and their exam is computer-based.
Okay, I'll give it a minute, see if anything else comes in. Any final thoughts, ladies, as we're starting to wrap up tonight and as we wait to see if any additional questions come in?
Nothing here. I just definitely suggest doing some research, going out to those websites and seeing what, especially for medical billing coding, what they have to offer. And I do have the website which I can forward to Selena for the Certified Electronic Health Record Specialist. So there's a certification with that one as well. So I can send that over too. So those websites offer a great amount of information.
And if anyone has any questions after this webinar, you can email either me or Nicole, and our contact information is listed on this page.
Okay, well, if we have no further questions, I guess we will call it a night. Thank you. Oh, here we go. Here's one more question. What's the, obviously we're happy to take as many questions as you all can type, but what is the difference between a coding specialist and a medical records specialist?
They're similar, but they're not going to be necessarily the same. With the trend in healthcare, everything is going paperless. Gosh, I went for a checkup just a couple weeks ago, and my doctor's office is all paperless now. Everything's paperless. So the Certified Electronic Health Record Specialist is going to be a person that is going to, and I apologize, there's rain pounding in the background, so I apologize if that's loud. But they are going to be the people that are going to help maintain the EHRs, which is what an electronic health record is. Sometimes you might hear it called an electronic medical record, which is where you get EMR. They're going to make sure that everything is up to spec. They're going to know the ins and outs of that system. They're going to know exactly what needs to be done, when, and where, and how. So this is more of a back office type of position versus a front office forward-facing position with patients. Medical billers and coders are going to be the individuals that actually assign alphanumeric codes to diagnoses and procedures, treatments, etc. So if you go into the doctor for, let's say, a cath, someone has to put the doctor's words into an alphanumeric code for insurance billing purposes. So the coding is basically, in the simplest way, is taking diagnosis, procedures, and treatments and putting it into specialized codes. And those codes are translated for insurance companies. That's how everyone kind of uses the same codes for different things. So it's just a uniform system across the medical billing and coding. I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for, and I lost it. The industry in general. So one is going to be working very intimately with the actual systems and the ins and outs of the systems, making sure everything complies with the systems, and then the other one is going to be working more with the actual alphanumeric code.
We're getting a lot of good questions right now, ladies. So, okay, here comes another one. How soon can one complete the modules?
Well, like I kind of mentioned before, it really depends on the module. I personally suggest to take your time. Some information might come really fast, really, just go through really easy, and like with medical terminology, it's a very straightforward module. But then as the modules progress, there may be some systems of the body in anatomy and physiology that are more complex than other systems of the body, so you might spend more time on those sections. So each module is broken down into multiple sections so that you are basically taking the material one chunk at a time. So it's not just, read this book and do this assignment. It's all separated out into smaller chunks, and there are presentations for each of those. So there are a lot of presentations in the program in general. So it really depends on the information, on any prior experience you may have. If you've ever taken an anatomy and physiology class, whether it's college or high school, it's like riding a bike. You get to the skeletal section and then you recognize, oh, I remember this, and so you might get through that section a lot quicker than maybe something else. So there's really no distinct answer to that. It really is going to depend on the individual.
Okay. Is there a difference in salary between the two skills?
Not necessarily. It all comes down to supply and demand, really. And it also comes down to regions. So you would have to do some research where you live and see what the average salary is. The Department of Labor of Statistics website is a great place to start. Also, the certifying body websites give this information as well. So AAPC has something, AHEMA has something, for certified EHR technology there is something, so you can do the research and see where it is in the region, because it's going to fluctuate across the United States.
Okay, since everything is going paperless, is it better to get the EMR certificate instead of medical billing and coding?
Well, medical billing and coding is paperless as well. There are so many systems that you enter the codes into electronic forms. And, I mean, now insurance claims are sent electronically. It's not, you don't have to stuff them in the envelopes and write out the addresses like we used to do even 10 years ago. So either way, you're going to be using technology. The more information, the more skills, the more experience you have under your belt, the more opportunities there are. So it could never hurt to do one than the other. It just depends on what you envision yourself doing after the program. So it's really a personal choice. But I chose to do my coding certification before my EMR certification, but that was just me. I've got colleagues that have gone and done it the other way around. I have some that just have one or the other. So it just really kind of depends on where you see yourself after the completion of a program.
Okay, is the medical records specialist certification offered at PACE?
The certification exam or the program?
Maybe if you could just address both, that would be great.
Okay. We have an electronic medical records program that will basically take you through a variety of topics that may not at first seem like it relates to electronic medical records, but it does. For example, medical terminology. I've had students in the past say, why in the world do I need to know this? We kind of need to know what you're reading. And so, that's where the medical terminology will come in, and then there's information about computers and specific medical office software. So it all comes together to allow you to sit for a certification exam that is going to be taken off-site. That certification exam is very similar as far as the setup of registering with the certifying agency and then finding a testing center near you.
Okay, we have one participant this evening who is a registered nurse and was wondering if the electronic medical records specialist would be a better way to go given her background.
Gosh, I would say that you could do either one. That's a great question. It comes down to your motivation of what you see yourself doing. If it's something that you are going to stay in your field and you're looking to maybe get an increase in pay or diversify yourself in the workplace, then you would want to see which one's going to benefit you the most in your current position. If you're looking to change and make a complete change, then honestly, I would think that billing and coding might be a little bit more up your alley. But again, I don't know. This is just me being a practitioner myself. It's a lot easier for me to grasp onto diagnoses and treatment procedures. I mean, I know the language, but then if I get into a specific medical office software, I may have to take a step back and learn that system. So it really just depends on where you see yourself and the motivation behind the education, but I think with your background you could easily do either one.
Is it possible to do both programs at the same time?
That is a great question, and I'm going to, from a education practitioner side, I would say totally you probably can, that they complement each other, but I'm going to defer that question to Paige.
If you register for both programs, then they're two different courses. So if you register for both at the same time, then you can take it at the same time.
I would just give one disclaimer that the medical terminology information is going to be very much the same in both programs. It uses the same information, and medical terms haven't really changed since they were created. So the only parallel between those two programs will be that particular module.
If your background is in IT, is the billing and coding a good place to start?
That's a great question too. See, for background in IT, I would initially go the other direction with EMR, because learning, if someone's IT, learning software is probably not going to be, it's probably going to be second nature. But again, and I know this is not a concrete answer, but it's such a personal choice. It really goes to your motivation and where you see yourself. And so I would take some time and reflect on that and see why you would want to do EMR or why you'd want to do MBC. And honestly, I do this. I write pro and con lists. What am I looking for? Where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 5 years? And then you will see your answer for yourself, because it's such an individual choice. But given that type of background, I would think for sure EMR would be like second nature.
Selena, this one's for you. If you decide to do both EMR and MBC, will there be a discount?
The only discount available is a $200 discount. So if you apply the discount, it can be applied twice. So that would be a $400 discount for each class.
Okay, any other questions tonight? Anyone? All right, let's give it a second or two for everyone to type in any final questions. And okay, here we go. Which of the two, EMR or MBC, offers flexibility for an older person collecting SSI?
That's a great question. They're both going to offer some amount of flexibility for sure. I would say that the decision would come down to technology as far as the feeling comfortable with technology as far as electronic medical records, health records, medical billing and coding. When you take your certification exams, you've got these 3 very large manuals you take with you. But in the field, you have those manuals, but everything is computer. So at the beginning, you need to look at the time spent looking at these manuals. So it really, I know I don't sound like I'm giving a whole lot of guidance, but it's such an individual choice. Either of these positions, especially medical billing and coding, could be done in remote positions that you may need to get your foot in the door first and then move into something like a remote position. I hope that answered the question.
Yes, actually, we got an immediate response, Michelle. Good answer. It's still a few years off.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. So thank you. So good answer, Michelle.
Education is such a personal choice, so it's so hard, you know. But I remember being in that position where it was like, you know, do I want to do this or do I want to do this? And I just, you know, you just have to really sit down and just weigh the options and see what fits in your vision, what fits with your motivation.
Okay, we have one participant who does electronic charting now. Would EMR be teaching this to other healthcare professionals, such as the Epic system?
I remember an email about this. Our particular system, we chose, because we could, this was a tough decision. We chose to stick with one EMR in the program because the functions of this particular EMR were very basic and are found in pretty much every other system. There's a ton of systems. The Epic system is super cool, very user-friendly, very Web 2.0. So looking at the basics learned in the EMR program as far as, you know, finding something like a day sheet or entering an encounter or anything like that is going to translate into those types of systems. Some EMR systems offer training through whomever creates the system. They offer training, and some don't, which can be really frustrating. Those that don't offer training, usually that training takes place in the workplace itself. So there's just a ton of EMRs out there, and we just tried to find one that would mirror the functionality of the major players that are out there.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone? I feel like I'm in Ferris Bueller when I say that. Any further questions? Again, I'll give it a minute for you guys to type in some more questions because they have been coming in fast and furious, which we love. We love your interest. We love your participation. We love your questions, and we thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this evening. So let's definitely give it, you know, a little bit to couple seconds or so to see if any further questions come in, and we'll kind of take it from there. Selena, where does one apply for the payment plan?
So after this webinar, I can get a list of all the attendees of the webinar, and I can email everyone a registration form. And you can fill that out, and in the payment section, just cross off tuition payment plan, and we will get you set up for the PACE tuition payment plan, and we will send you instructions on how to enroll in that.
Okay. Okay, again, we'll give it a second. I feel like a broken record, but we certainly want to give you guys an opportunity to ask any and all questions you may want while we're here. Again, always ready, willing, and able to take questions after we log off for the evening. I'll just point one more time, point in the direction of contact information for Nicole and Selena at PACE, who are always happy to field your questions. But I guess if we don't have any further questions this evening, and clearly I'm dragging this out and saying this very slowly, I guess if we don't have any further questions this evening, we will call it a night. We will thank you so much for your interest and your participation this evening, and certainly hope we see your names on rosters and your quote-unquote faces in online classrooms in either the MBC or EMR programs at Pace University. So Dr. Com, I thank you so much for your information and everything you've done here this evening. Selena, always a pleasure. Thank you. And
Thank you.
thanks to all of you for attending this evening. So everyone have a wonderful night, and we do appreciate your interest in the PACE programs. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Have a good night.